Hey, hello there and a very, very good evening. My name's Sean Ryan and welcome to the Planet Cruise TV show. I always love presenting this cruise show. As many of you know, I've been presenting it for 11 years and every Tuesday at 8 o'clock we have the best deals that you could ever imagine. I'm sorry I wasn't here last week, by the way, but I've got a good excuse. I was on the cruise.
There's a surprise.
Everyone's taking the mickey out of me. I think I've done 31 cruises now. Now, this is the guy heckling in the background is the one that you... Is Glenn Wallace, but... Glenn, you need talk.
I've done more than 30.
I was going to say, you need talk. Lovely to see you.
Hey, mate, you good?
Glenn works for Planet Cruise. You might even hear his voice tomorrow because you'll be taking bookings tomorrow.
I'll be in tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. My last day in the office before I go away on holiday for a few days with the family. Looking forward to it.
Not got a bad life, bless you.
No, I'm not complaining.
But we've got an amazing show tonight. We're going to tell you about it in a second, but we've got a few shout-outs, first of all, haven't we?
Yes, I've got a couple, obviously. I normally do a couple of shout-outs. So first one goes out to Keith and Susan Tolhurst. They booked the Holland America trip that we had on last week. You weren't here, but it was on the Veendam going down to the Caribbean, so I said hello to you guys. And also, we've got Walter and Christine. They're on the Iona. They love their running. They're running all over the place, so they're going to be running in the fjords, and they're looking forward to their cruise. So, hi, guys, from you. That's my two.
Well, I've got a very long list, haven't I? But really? I'll edit it down. Well, I just was at, first of all, a massive hello and thank you to all the lovely people I met on the Discovery 2 last week with Marella. I met some lovely customers, actually. They all loved me, Glenn. A bit iffy about you.
Well, I'm not sure. My wife's like that.
No, they loved the show. Met two lovely couples, Julie, Darren, Pat and Eric. Had a great time with you guys. Really lovely to meet you. Judy, one of our regulars as well, Judy Strain. Want to say hello to Simon, who's watching tonight from hospital bed.
Right.
He's had a knee replacement. So, Simon, hope it's going well. We're here to cheer you up. Think about your next cruise. And Graham and his lovely wife as well, who I met on the Discovery 2. But, yeah, had a great time.
We enjoyed it.
Had a brilliant
time. We're now Marella converts, aren't we?
Yes. And I've got some pictures I'm going to share a little bit later on as well. But we're going to start off with this week's hot pick.
We've spent some money there, haven't we?
It's a hot pick. I tell you what, though, first of all, what's that pound doing? Is that the deposit claim?
Europe bound for £1.
Wow.
We like a £1 deposit, don't we?
We certainly do. This is great. It's a 7-night Mediterranean cruise from Barcelona on board the Jewel of the Seas. Departs the 26th of April next year. The inside starts at just $665, which is amazing. And I did notice we've got loads of regionals on this one, haven't we?
Yeah, so they're looking like they're doing London, Manchester, Scotland and Ireland on there as well. As I said, give the guys a call. Nice itinerary as well. Going into Barcelona, going down to Nice, Portofino, Livorno, Rome, and then back into Naples. So a lovely one. Jewel of the Seas, fantastic ship as well.
Wow. So
look at the price.
I mean, that is amazing, isn't it? And if you want to book right now, the ID number there, 202276. But you can secure your place for £1 tonight.
Not bad, is it? £1 per person?
Oh, yes. If it's a couple, yeah, you need to find £2 on your credit and debit card.
Exactly.
So you literally take a £1 deposit?
£1 deposit, yeah, and we top it up a little bit later on. And again, remember, like most of the deals tonight, depending on when you're sailing, we can actually pay off over the time going up to the cruise itself. So you can pay a deposit today and then pay a little bit off, and then the balance will be due 16 weeks before.
Brilliant. But we are going to start with an amazing cruise. Look at this. 749.
749, yeah.
For 12 nights on board the Ventura.
Nice ship.
Lovely ship.
Beautiful ship. We love P&O anyway.
Yeah.
Ventura's well established. It's been around now for 12, 15 years. But it's a British cruise line. The price on there is fantastic. Going down to that part of the world as well, you know, the weather's going to be good. Really, really good.
And just a £1 deposit.
£1 deposit.
Well. Yeah, that is amazing. But let's just show you the ship. So I'm a massive cruise fan, and I truly believe there is a cruise for everybody, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, and we were talking about it just before the show. So, I mean, some of the deals we got on today is just a plethora of some of the ships we've got out there. But Ventura, British cruise line on there, you know, everything's in sterling. Remember, tips are included on there now as well, so they'll all be included.
Brilliant.
They've started introducing drinks packages. Hurrah!
Yes, we like that. It's great news.
Yeah, so you can add those on if you wanted to. I think they're about £40 per person per day. But if not, drink prices are pretty reasonable on there anyway. And again, the shows are geared towards the Brits. Most of the clientele on there are British as well. And I think for some people, even if it's your first cruise, it can be a bit daunting going on sort of multinational cruises and different currencies. P&O do it all on there.
And I think when you choose a British cruise, all the entertainment is British.
They bring British acts on board, comedians.
Like comedians
and again, your food's included. People always ask, is the food included? They've got a couple of specialty restaurants. Epicurean's really good on board there, so if you want to treat yourself celebrating something, you might go there. But again, the Glass House, variety of the main restaurants, you can have informal dining. They'll have a couple of dress-up nights on there as well. But I think, again, what's great about it as well is, as I said, going down to this part of the world, you know, whatever time of year you're going to go, the weather should be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the lead date there is the 1st of December. A lot of places would be freezing, but not when you get into the Canaries.
Exactly, and as I said, you can pay the £1 today and then pay this off over the next few months. Really good.
And you
price.
know, you look at that price and divide it into 12.
It's good.
Yeah,
couldn't get a travel lodge or a premium for that.
It works out under £63 per person.
And that's all your food included and your tips.
And your entertainment.
And your entertainment.
Yeah. And when we say food, you know, that's breakfast, lunch,
buffets 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Evening meal buffet.
Exactly.
You won't be hungry, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
And also, the great thing with this one, no flying. You know, so some people don't like to fly.
No.
I don't love flying.
I don't like flying. You just do it to obviously get somewhere, but it's nice. And again, we've got a holiday in Winchester the night before, £95 per person. Stay there the night before, bed and breakfast, private transfers taking you to the port. Leave your car there for the 12 days. Parking at the port is 100 quid, so you might as well just do the night stay.
But again, that is an amazing price. Anyway, so. You're in Southampton. You maybe stayed the night before in Winchester.
You're relaxed.
You're on board. You're relaxed.
Join the ship. And then what's nice about this one as well, if you've got 3 days at sea, we're going down to the Canaries, Madeira area. So we're going to go down the coastline and then obviously going down to Madeira. Now, Madeira is a beautiful island if you've not been there before. It does a lot of the Europe meets the Caribbean. Things to do here, again, you can just go off in the town, you can go wandering around, great views the higher you go up into the centre of the town there. The other thing you can do is take the cable car very to the top, and then from there, great views, or take the toboggans down. So toboggan's a great way. And if you really want to treat yourself, maybe dress up a bit in the afternoon, and that will give you tea at Reed's, which is always a nice way of doing that. Once we've done that, we move on to the Canaries. Now, with the Canary Islands, again, you've got 320 days of sun every single year. And we're going into Santa Cruz de la Palma. Slightly different from Santa Cruz over in Tenerife, but this is de la Palma. Different island, a little bit more tranquil there, not quite as developed. Nice things to do here. Shoot to the beach, you can go to the museum. You've also got the stunning streets there. And when we used to go to Santa Cruz, we used to just go off for the day.
Same here.
Have a wander around, take in the sights, a little bit of time off the ship and then back on, and a bit of sunbathing in the afternoon. So it's quite a chilled out, relaxed port of call. We're then going to two of the big Canarian islands, obviously Tenerife to start with in the north of the island, up into Puerto de la Cruz. And again, with this one, a number of things to do. You can just go off in Puerto de la Cruz. You've got the Lido area just to wander off. You can go a bit further down into Mount Teide and the National Park, or go even further down to Laura Park with the dolphins, maybe take a boat trip, or go down to Playa de Americas and Los Cristianos. But again, loads to do in Tenerife in one day. Lanzarote, always a little bit windier there. You've got the Timor National Park. Again, you can just go in Arrecife and just wander around the port area. Got the camels, we always mention about the camels, but I think you can do whatever you want. And as I said, a lot of people have been to the Canaries before, but quite nice, definitely knowing that you're going to get that sun.
It's just, I think at this time of the year, you know, it's just a great...
You think that lead date, you get back, what, 13th, 14th of December, get ready for Christmas with the tan.
Yeah, I'm feeling relaxed.
Day at sea, and then into Lisbon.
I love Lisbon.
Lisbon's a great sailing under the 25th of April bridge, and again, number of things to do here. I would say when you go into town, wander into the centre of town, take the glass elevator, great views over the city. You can always go into the big square. We've got loads of bars and cafes.
Yeah, it's lovely actually, a real good atmosphere.
There's a Hard Rock cafe down the corner that all the crew go into because we like the traditional Portuguese restaurant, so straight into Hard Rock cafe. But if not, you can just go and have a look at the Bellum Tower. But the main things for this one is your sail-in or your sail-out. Make sure you're on top deck. Great views and a nice way to finish the cruise. Then just a relaxing day, chilling out before then heading back into Southampton.
That is a great start. So I am amazed at the price on that. Really am. You know, including tips as well, $749, and just a £1 deposit. You know, and booking, you know, a little bit earlier. You know, it just gives you a better choice of room and things like that.
Better choice of rooms, and again, you know, we've got multiple dates on this one. So again, if you're going a little bit later on in the year, you can put down a small deposit now, put down the £1, and then pay it off over the next few months.
So as we mentioned, no tips required. Also now. what about upgrading to select fare?
Yeah, so these are based on the saver fare where they just allocate the cabin numbers. But if you upgrade for about £60 per person, depending obviously the cabin that you go to, you can choose one of the following. You can have the onboard spend, you can have car parking or coach transfers. And again, the guys will work out the best value for you and you give them a call.
As we mentioned about adding on a night pre-cruise in the Holiday Inn in Winchester, you can do that for just £95 per person, and that will give you breakfast, parking for 12 nights, so that's worth a lot of money,
yeah,
and your port transfers
Did you mention about the kids as well?
I was going to leave that to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I always look at that. And,
I know you do.
Selected sailings on now, £99 for children on there. Again, get in early because they fill up their kids' club, so there's limited space on that one.
So if you to take your book on there for £99.
£99 done.
That's
not bad.
great,
It's not bad for 12 days, is it?
Yeah, that's
really good.
You pay more for that for a nursery, don't you? Yeah. For childcare. Prices-wise, we've got great dates available all the way from November right the way through into August 2020. But we also have a little deal that's just come in with new reduced prices, and it's the 12-night Northern Lights from Southampton on board the Arcadia.
I've never seen a Northern Lights that cheap. Never seen it that cheap before.
Do you know what? I didn't even get to see because this came in so late, Claire. I didn't even see the price. Yes. $875.
So normally Northern Lights are a niche cruise. Ooh. Certain cruise lines got there, and the prices are quite steep. That is $875 per person on board a beautiful Arcadia, which I think is adults only anyway. 26th of November, no tips required. You've got overnights in Tromsø, so you can go to the Arctic Cathedral and Narvik. There you can do things like Skidoo ride-ins, the Huskies, go to the Igloo Hotel. But again, nice ports of call with Andalsnes, Tromsø, Stavanger. And if you want to go and see the Northern Lights, that is the start of the season. I'm not guaranteeing it, but 99% you're going to see the Northern Lights there. $875 per person.
That is right. It's just come in. It's just been reduced. So that is really, really hot right now. Now, don't forget, Planet Cruise have got an amazing website. I spend a lot of my free time on their website, planning my next cruise, looking at the deals, getting more information about cruising. But it is a brilliant website. I'm going to recognise that lady.
Oh, Janie.
That's our friend Jane McDonald, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about her later.
Yeah. Chance to meet her and see her show. It's a little bit later on. However, I can honestly say the next cruise I'm about to show you is breathtaking. Never ever been on anything like this. It's getting really close to the top of my list now, my wish list. It's got even closer today, believe me. It's a once in a lifetime experience with exclusive pricing, and it's the ultimate trip to Iceland. Something I want to say straight away before I forget, it's really important, because we had this on back in December last year, and the single cabins sold really well, really well. They were the first to go. There is no single supplement on the cruise itself. You pay a little bit more because there's a hotel stay at the beginning, just a little bit extra for that. But the cruise itself, there is no single supplement. So if you are one of our lovely single ladies and gents and you're interested in this, give us a call sooner rather than later. No single supplement on the actual cruise. And we've got the MD with us right now. Robert is with us. Lovely to meet you.
Cheers.
We're both, we are so excited about this, aren't we, Glenn?
We've been talking about it all afternoon, so it's been great.
Yeah. Right, so, let's just start off talking about Aurora Expeditions, rather. Get my teeth in. I like this one, I'm excited. This is a company that they've been around for a long time, got a great history, haven't they?
Yep, 28 years. So we've been in operation, and actually the pioneers in expedition travel, particularly in the polar regions.
Wow, so real experts.
Yeah.
But tonight, our ladies and gents have got a chance on going on your brand new ship.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's not even sailed yet, has she?
No, she'll have her first sailing out of Ushuaia in Argentina on the 31st of October. So she's completed, but she's on her way down
now,
to
Robert,
Argentina.
am I right in saying, we were talking earlier, she has been specifically designed for Iceland and the Arctic?
That's right. So it's purpose-built. It's built for actually global exploration, but it's...
and we're just having a look right now.
All right, yep. So you'll see this is the Polar Pioneer, actually. This is a ship that we are using at present, because this new ship is just so new that we don't have actual footage of it. But you'll be going down into Iceland and also up the
Svalbard and Longyearbyen and places like that, won't you?
Yeah. So, you know, it's actually a delightful trip. It's actually taken a lot of the wildlife. So Aurora in itself is all about the destination.
Yeah,
the ship is actually a plus because we've been traveling these areas.
You're getting a little up there.
Yeah, so you'll notice that X bow in the front, that bow that's got that kind of stub nose. That's called an X bow, and it's something that's been used for many years in taking commercial vessels. But so we're the first to use it in the expedition market. And you see purpose-built ships, so we have those Zodiac landing docking areas there that are actually right on the water level. So at the moment, most of the expedition ships, you come down a gangway, but we've actually taken in a lot of different views on how we wanted to have this expedition. So with Aurora, you have everyone in the one dining area. We have the small vessels, so 120 passengers.
Wow.
It's the maximum that we take, and that's 100 people to do landing, and then we have kayaking also available, a lot of activities, snowshoeing. These are shots down in Antarctica, because we do lots of different destinations. So we have Antarctica, up in the Arctic, European Arctic, and then we also Costa Rica, Patagonia.
And I'm right to we get even closer to nature and the wildlife on this ship.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're all about. It's the destination itself, and the ship is actually a great way to get us there.
Yeah.
And once we're there, we have our historians or naturalists on board. We have a 1:8 ratio, so one guide to the 8 passengers. And they're there to really open up these areas.
And we just have another look right now.
Yeah, so
I mean, the scenery is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the Arctic, and these are the ice flows here, and in a lot of those ice flows you'll find the polar bears. We use Zodiacs to actually take the people onto the landing sites and to get even closer to this wildlife that you're seeing here, so it's seals. And up in the Arctic, we see a lot of the Arctic foxes, the reindeer, polar bears, obviously, that we're out there looking for. And like I said, our guides are very experienced. Many of them have had decades of experience, maybe as many as 200 expeditions into these regions.
I mean, Glenn,
Well, I was very fortunate enough to go up into Svalbard and Longyearbyen a few years ago when I worked on another ship, and the experience is amazing actually going through the ice, you know,
I
through
can
the ice.
imagine, yeah.
And you can actually hear it, whether you're laying in bed at night time or going up during the day. You spend all day out on deck just taking pictures, and it's wonderful. The air is so crisp and clear, isn't it? It's wonderful. And then, of course, you get to places like this Longyearbyen where you can actually get a chance to possibly see the polar bears, you get to see the wildlife. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, so even the ship has these hydraulic platforms that come out of the bow, and you hang over the front of the ship itself.
So you get even closer.
Get even closer, and if you have the desire, we have the kayaks. You can get out in the kayaks and actually get along the coastline and actually see the wildlife really up close. But most of our people take the Zodiacs on the shore, and the guides are there to kind of help them explain what they're seeing and bring it kind of to life. Photography is a huge activity that a lot of people use, and all of our voyages we have a celebrity photographer that's on to help them with their shots.
And also as well, we were asking about the clothing and stuff, because obviously I think you provide the jackets and the boots and things like that, don't you, when you're on there?
Yeah, so we have these, well, we supply the gum boots, and then the jackets are all included in the pricing, so it's right there when you arrive.
I mean, today, I mean, we've been talking about this. I think everyone that's seen this itinerary would love to do it. And the ship station has been so beautifully engineered and designed for this. It's going to give you the maximum experience, isn't it?
Yeah, so we used 28 years, we've used a lot of the expedition team to build and design the ship. So the ship is actually designed for operational purposes. And, you know, we have a locker room, which we call a mud room. We have a storage area out the back that walks straight onto the water level into a floating platform for the kayaks.
So everything purpose-built.
Yeah, and again, it's a niche, you know, if you want to go and experience this as close as you can, this is the best way to do it.
And I only found out, because we featured you guys back in December, and the single cabins, so they sold really well, I mean, like that. There's no single supplement on the actual cruise, is there?
Yeah, no single supplement in this cruise.
Wow. And you get a lot of solo passengers, don't you?
We do. It's probably about 60%. A lot of women as well, probably. Sorry, 60% of the people that go are actually women, and a lot of them come on with their friends and sisters and just have a great time.
Well, let's show you some amazing places.
Now I'm nervous pronouncing some of these names.
I'm going to hand over to you, Ryan. This is your bit.
So this one we're going to fly you, we're going to package this up for you. We're going to give you 2 days in Reykjavik. Now, I personally would recommend doing 3 days. The reason being is the 2 main tours to do there are Blue Lagoon and the Golden Circle, and you can't do them on the same day. First you arrive, do 3 nights instead of 2, we can do that for you. But that's the Blue Lagoon, you need to go there, and again the Golden Circle is the main trip to do. Fantastic chance of being into Cathedral, the city is wonderful as well, and that's just your warm-up before, obviously.
And we should say, obviously, for single passengers, there'll be a little bit extra for the hotel stay.
For the hotel and the transfers and stuff, but yeah, but again,
not for the cruise.
Not for the cruise. Then we actually start the cruise itself. So we're going to embark the ship, and then we're going down to our various Portugal. Yeah, thanks for this. Yeah. So La Trebage.
Oh, not bad.
That's not too bad. That's our first place we're going to. And again, this is the westernmost point in Europe. And again, here the Zodiacs are going to start taking you over to the various landing areas. Now, again, they can be quite flexible with the landing areas depending on weather conditions and what the experts decide to go and see. But here again, as I said, you've got your puffins and you've got your wildlife, marine life, and this is where it's going to start to obviously have that experience. A little bit more greener in that part of the world, but again, with this one we always say take layers of clothing. We were talking about that earlier. Just be prepared for the conditions when you're there. We then go over to Isafjorda. That's where we used to go on to one of our Portugal. Again, famous. Well, it used to be a tender port. You don't need to worry about that with the landing areas. But again, you've got the glaciers there to go and have a look at. Fantastic opportunity. And again, your guide's taking you out will show you some of the stunning scenery that they have there. Then as we go down, we have a sea day, and there we're going to cross the Denmark Strait and go over to Mayen Island.
Mayen, yeah. Well, it's actually the most northern volcanic island in the world. And there it's often foggy around the area itself, and we'll take the Zodiacs and actually go in and actually the kayaks and go in to see the volcanic area itself.
Then from there we have a couple of days at sea, and this is when you're going to really start to experience, aren't you, the ice. And that's what we did when we went up there. So that's when you're actually sailing through, and that was some of the best bits of it, to be perfectly honest. It was a magnificent sailing through. I wouldn't say icebergs, because that's never good when you're talking about cruising.
Ice floes.
Ice flows.
Yeah. A lot of the polar bears.
Polar bears, say the walruses, you get to see those as well. And again, you can actually hear the ship cutting through the ice, which is fantastic. And whilst you're on board for those couple of days, again, you'll have the lecturers and the port guys giving you as much information with the lectures, and you'll become experts, hopefully, by the time you get up into North Svalbard.
And you got that 24-hour sunlight, and we have an open bridge policy, so you can be 3
Really?
o'clock in the morning in there talking to the captain and crew and getting an education on what you're seeing and what you're doing, so it's very exciting. And then we'll head out and with the Zodiacs and get out there and get amongst it, and actually good chance to see a polar bear along in that part of the world.
Right, Glenn, we are nearly out of time.
No, that's fine. Then we're going to go up to North Svalbard, and that's where we're going to see a chance to go up to one of the most northern points up there, obviously well through 80 degrees north, right up into the Arctic, and you've got Svalbard. That's where you've got the opportunity again to go out and do some of the snowmobiling. You can try all the different activities they have there, but again, as I said, keep an eye out for that wildlife, and then from there all the way up to Longyearbyen as well. So if you look where you're going, you look at the normal fields cruising doing when you're going on this particular one, you're through the Arctic Circle, and you're going on the brand new vessel that is purpose built for this area.
Well, let's just quickly show. I mean, I wish we had half an hour to talk to this. It is amazing. But you've got the 2-night hotel stay in Reykjavik, as we said, daily shore excursions, guided walks, Zodiac cruises, some activities, educational lectures as well, and we've got exclusive pricing tonight. You will not find this offer anywhere else in the market.
Just to let you know, their price at the moment is about $5,400 for the cruise only.
For the cruise only.
And we've packaged that in with the balcony on there, also with the flights and the 2-night stay in Reykjavik. So that's why this deal's so good.
And really important for all of our single passengers, there is no single supplement tonight. So single ladies and gents, the balcony will only cost you $5,299 plus a little bit extra for the hotel stay. Robert, I wish we had longer, I really do. Please come back soon.
Thank you, Sean.
And tell us more. Yeah. That was
Thanks,
Cheers,
buddy.
buddy.
Cheers.
Mate.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Wow. Do you know, I always said that there's a cruise for everybody, and what I love about this show, we do take you around the world, lots of different cruise lines, and the next cruise is on board the Anthem of the Seas. And you get to see Jane McDonald. You get to see 2 of her shows. She also does a meeting and a talk. And you can actually secure this tonight. Is it a £1 deposit as well? Yes.
Per person.
Oh, yes, so per person. If there's 2 of you, you need to spend £2 tonight. But anyway, let's take you on board the Anthem of the Seas.
Hi, it's Jane McDonald here, and it's time for us to go on our holidays. Yes, you and I are going on as holidays. If you love my concerts and cruising, this is the holiday for you. It's from Southampton to Southampton on state-of-the-art Royal Caribbean Anthem of the Seas. September the 20th, 2020. Check all the details on my website and I'll see you on board. Ta-ra!
She's such a character, so much fun.
Well, I say she does the TV show now, and it gets millions and millions of
Yeah.
views. So I mean,
I always watch it, don't you?
yeah, oh yeah. Well, this
so we
this
get
was
to
on the
see-
floating festival. So remember, we're doing the ones for this year as well.
Yeah.
So we've still got the 80s and the one with Sheridan Smith and Alfie Boe that are still going on in
Yeah.
October. So if people still want availability on that, we've got it. But this is the new one. It's been in the press the last few days, and it's going on sale.
So you
tomorrow.
get to see 2 different headline shows with Jane McDonald, and
Yeah.
it's an audience with event that we just saw
Exactly,
there as well.
yeah. So there'll be
And they're
more
guaranteed.
details coming out for you. But the other thing I wanted to say as well is, I mean, I've been cruising for years. When I went on Anthem of the Seas, which I think was 2015, it's the best ship I've ever been on.
Yeah, you were raving about it.
Love it.
In our meeting,
it's the
there was,
first
"Oh,
one
she's
of the
best."
new Royal Caribbean ships that come out with the robotic bar, the North Star, the skydiving, it's got everything. Roller skating and dodgems.
So you're going to have a great time on board the ship, but also, you know, if you're a Jane McDonald fan,
Yeah.
it doesn't get better than this. Right, the itinerary, by the way, nice and easy, no flying from
Yep,
Southampton.
straight in, no problem at all.
You know what I'm like, I'll be settling with a drink on the first day.
So this one, again, as I said, you've got your ports of call on here as well. We're going down into Cherbourg. Cherbourg, again, we go to on a lot of our Northern Europe cruises, into the Sea Museum, the Aquarium, and the Marella Castle. Great sailing in there as well, so make sure you're out on back deck. I'm sure on a cruise like this, it's going to be party time all the time with that anyway.
Yeah, I
so
bet.
on the back deck, few drinks, and taking the wonderful views as you go past and out of Cherbourg. We then have a day at sea, so you can start experience what's on board that ship. And as I said, go and get a drink from the robotic bartender. Go to 270, the venue at the back, which I think is the best venue I've ever seen at sea. And also have a meal at Wonderland, which is just a restaurant completely wacky. You've just got to try it. Then go into Vigo, down into Spain. So again, in Vigo, a lot of the cruises go here. Just go off for the day. They've got great fish restaurants around that part of the world. Go and have a bit of tapas, go and have a glass of wine, just taking the views. But again, a nice opportunity there if you're not going to take one of the trips. We've already talked about Lisbon. Again, a nice chance to catch a bit of sun. Good sailings on there, and what a ship to come in on Anthem of the Seas. And then you've got 2 days at sea just to soak up all the atmosphere, party the night away, and then back into Southampton.
The date there, obviously, there's only one date, 20th of September 2020. I got a feeling this one will be very busy tonight, so you can pre-register now. It's not actually on sale till tomorrow.
Yeah, so what you do, you phone in tonight, you give us all your details, you pay your £1 deposit, and we'll get it booked for you in the morning. It'll go live tomorrow morning. This will sell really well.
And you are guaranteed entry and seating at 2 different Jane McDonald headline shows, and you're guaranteed to that special Jane McDonald and audience with. On-board gratuities are included, as Glenn just said, £1 deposit, £2 if there's a couple, and you can add on the one night at the Holiday Inn in Winchester from only £95 per person, and that will give you breakfast, parking and port transfers as well. But we also have this week's hotspot for you now. Hotspot.
Oh, we got more. Have we got more stuff? Have we got more little trailers?
We've got more, yes.
Oh, look at that.
You like that, don't you?
We've got no budget left. That's it.
Right, now you were talking about this one earlier.
Well, I'm going to take credit for this because I spoke to our guys the other day. There's a TV show appearing this week, and it's focused on Borneo. That's all I'm allowed to say. But Borneo is going to be a hotspot, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, when these shows come on TV, people start watching it. Now, this one we've incorporated Borneo, the orangutans, and a Far East cruise. One of our directors said, "Can you sail to Borneo?" No. So you fly in, you do the land tour, and then you go to do the cruise. This is 5-night Borneo land tour, the orangutan sanctuary, and the sun bear conservation sanctuary. You've got a 2-night stay in Singapore that can be extended if you want to. Free ocean view to balcony upgrade from 2599, and again with that one you've got return flights from London. We can look at alternatives for you. Great ship as well on Voyage of the Seas, and that's going out on the 13th of October. But after this show that's going out, Borneo will be really in everyone's mind, and again this is something to focus on.
And that is why it's this week's Destination Hotspot.
Da, 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 da.
Now, regulars of the show, what are my 2 favourite words? You've got it.
Free cruise.
You just ruined that. What's my 2 favourite words? My other 2 favourite words, all-inclusive.
Oh, got another one.
Keep up.
I'll tell you what, I don't know where this is all coming from.
It's this week's... Now, jokes apart, many of us, and I don't want to encourage drinking and things like that, but many of us do love an all-inclusive.
Yes.
It just means you've not got a big bill at the end. You don't have to worry about anything. The price you see on the screen is the price that you pay, and that is it. And I've just come back from a Marella cruise.
I came back from a Marella cruise as well.
We have, and we've both had the most amazing time.
Brilliant time, absolutely wonderful. And again, I think, you know, as I said, Marella's been around for a few years, and people like trying... I mean, you've been with so many different cruise lines anyway, but you've been on the last 2 cruises you've been with Marella.
Now, I'll be honest, the customer feedback was always great from Marella.
Yeah.
But I only recently started cruising with them, and I can see why they're so successful.
Well, we always say about the entertainment and the staff, and the 2 things you've been raving about.
Right, the entertainment on my cruise on the Discovery 2, honestly, the team, if they watch, I'm sure they'll be performing now, but some of the best entertainment I've ever seen. In fact, I'll just quickly share some... I'll have to make sure these are the...
Do you want me to talk while you're doing it?
No, I can do modern technology, I've got them. But these are some of just the snapshots that I took on the cruise. That's Graham and his lovely wife there, big Marella fans. This was the lovely... These 2 couples were amazing. I mentioned earlier that Julia, Pat, Eric and Graham there, they were having the best time, and we spent a lot of nights with them in the bar.
Oh, we did.
But we had the best time, guys, so it was lovely to meet you. Hope we didn't annoy you too much. Jay and I, Herculaneum we did.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, really great. And again, the tours with Marella, really good value.
Really good prices as well.
I've got headphones in because we had a guide, you see. So, and... I
thought you 2 just weren't talking.
Right, no, but I decided we looked better in black and white, you see. Took some of the gingerness away. And then there was an adults-only area at the back of the ship, which was beautiful. And I spent quite a lot of time there just because, you know, I burned quite a lot in the sun, but it was lovely. It was chilling, relaxed, and listening to music. It was great. So, but for me, the best thing about Marella, well, everything was great, but the entertainment, you know, you walked from a brilliant theatre show, then there was a great pianist playing, then an opera singer, always something happening.
Yeah, it is good. As I said, we loved it as well. Really,
and
really
great
good.
value.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot fault it. Anyway, the Explorer 2, now this is their latest.
Yeah, so this only came out in March. Actually, one of my mates is working on there at the moment. Now, this is a transatlantic, so normally they're adults only anyway with Marella, but Marella Explorer 2 is an adults only ship.
Great.
Okay.
Well, not great, but great if you want to.
Yeah, great if you want that. Now, again, with this one as well, it's not a new ship, but it's been newly refurbished. We've gone round the ship very quickly, but I think people are shocked when they see Marella. They go, oh, we didn't know they were like that. They are great ships, really got everything going. And as I said, the staff on there are so friendly. And remember, your drinks, your tips are all included. The excursions are pretty reasonable prices.
I mean, the specialty restaurants are really reasonable as well.
They are.
It is great value. And we were talking, the atmosphere, people are fun, friendly, warm.
Yeah, and that's what I found about it. Everyone talks to everyone on there now. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing for some people, but I found it, you know, like if you're waiting for that, come on, mate, get in the lift, and and they were chatting to us, you know, when Brooke was on board, and, you know, how long... You just get to talk to them. I find some ships you go on, you don't have that. It's all a bit... negative and everyone sticks to themselves. It's not like that.
And again, we always say there's a cruise for everybody. We all like different things, but what I'd say is if you love entertainment like I do, you're not going to get better. If you love a British feel, generally very British feel to it, food and service is great, really friendly, and value. You know, you look at the price there for 70 nights.
£100 a day. But I mean, to be quite honest, you got the ports of call on there, but really everything else is included. So you know, and again, as I said, you can do the ports of call. This is a cruise, obviously coming back across the Atlantic. A few days to chill out, and normally on transatlantics they don't have all inclusive, but they still offer it with Marella.
Which, you know, bearing in mind the amount of days you're on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
It's really good value. So I had a great time. So thank you to Marella. It was a brilliant cruise. Now, this obviously starts with the flight.
It does, yeah, long way to swim. So this one's gonna fly out to Barbados, and again with this one we've got Gatwick or Birmingham flights on here. Again, there is also an option to upgrade to a 20-night sailing that will actually drop you off in Newcastle and Manchester. Bits and bobs on that as well. Speak to the team, but flying into Barbados, and then from there we're going down into Rosso. Now Rosso is the gateway into Dominica, not Dominican Republic, Dominica. Now Dominica's a great island to go and see. It's a rainforest island. They've got 4 roads on there. That's it. So it's much more traditional. Go up to places like Trafalgar Falls, Emerald Falls. We did the wacky rollers, jeeps, but this is more. And we were actually there. I can't remember what year it was, 97, 98, and we were sitting in a bar. Orlando Bloom was there with Johnny Depp, and they were just filming Pirates of the Caribbean at the same time, just near the Fort Young Hotel. Oh no, we had a drink with him, and kept doing parrot impressions. We'd had a couple of rum punches at the time. But Dominica's a great island, and it's much more traditional and green than sort of Dominican Republic. Then we go into Tortola. Tortola's good for a couple of things. You've got the Treasure Point snorkeling, so again, they're famous for the pirates again, where the sunken treasure, so good for your snorkeling. You can also just go off the port area near there to Dolphin Discovery to swim with the dolphins, or you can get one of the open-sided buses down to either Cane Garden Bay or take a boat trip over to Virgin Gorda. Loads of stuff to do. This is the British Virgin Islands, and it is stunning.
Look at
a lot of the rich and famous over there. Nice place to spend the day. Couple of days at sea, which is nice, just to relax. The sun's going to be out shining, and then we go into one of the most exclusive destinations, which is Bermuda, over to the Royal Naval Dockyard.
I've not been to Bermuda.
No, and with this one as well, you've got the 2 days there. You've got an overnight on board, but again, wonderful beaches. This is, I hate to say, upper class, one of the top islands in the Caribbean, but lots of stuff to do here.
Would I still fit in, Glenn? Would it be okay?
You won't be allowed off the ship, but you'll be fine. But again, you've got the Naval Dockyard, you've got the National Museum, you've got the Gibbs Lighthouse, you can go down into the caves, or you can literally just take one of the boat trips out, do some snorkeling. You're in paradise in Bermuda. You want to do as much as you can, because then you've got your sailing back across, and you've got 2, 4, 5 days coming across.
Now those 5 days at sea, you know, bear in mind you've got amazing entertainment. Something's always happening with Marella. They really specialise.
And again, as I said, as you come across, the weather starts to. But I would say up to the Azores is still going to be really good weather anyway.
I was going to say those 5 days should be pretty good up to the Azores, shouldn't they?
And then it's nice. I always love the Azores because that's a place to get off. The actual port area is great. I would personally do a tour in the morning. Some wonderful sights to go out. But again, if you just go into the main town, you can just wander around. But that's some of the views in the Azores. So that's why I recommend doing a tour in the morning and then in the afternoon coming back and just spending the afternoon. Because, you know, you've been at sea for 5 days. You want to stretch your legs and you don't want to rush back too early. Then you've got 2 days at sea, and then we go back into Brest in France. And again here, you've got the Oceanopolis, you've got the Botanical Conservatory, you've got the Naval Museum, you've got the Arts Museum, and let's be honest, we all have a bit of Brest.
And I'm going to say, by this time,
and then from there, once we've done Brest, after you've recovered from there, we end up in Cherbourg. We've talked about Cherbourg already, but that's a nice, again, break-up, great sailing and out on there as well.
And I'm thinking by the time you get back, it's kind of mid-May, so you should still have fairly nice temperatures.
Weather should be good. So what's quite nice is you're following the weather over, and as long as that weather's not too bad coming up from the Azores, nice opportunity to do that, and again, it's good.
I mean, break down the value, works out about, what, £100 a night?
£100 a night,
It's amazing, seriously. All-inclusive, adult-only this one as well. You know, so if you are looking for, you know, a holiday away from the children, this is adult only. Over and out on board in the Royal Navy Dockyard there, King's Wharf. That's an amazing.
Yeah, so definitely a night to stay out that night and have a dinner out.
And your outbound flights with we've got Gatwick or Birmingham.
Or Birmingham on this one to Barbados. And then, as I said, there is a 20-night sailing from Barbados to Newcastle available with Manchester or Newcastle flights, so you can stay on a bit longer.
And again, this is another great theme, and Glenn told me about this one. One of the wonderful things about Marella is you've got, generally speaking, a better choice of flights, haven't you?
You have, exactly.
You know, lots of regionals. And bearing in mind, OK, the inside is 1749, but for what, an extra £130?
You're on for 17 nights.
Yeah. I had an outside on my cruise, and it was great.
Absolutely fine, Yeah, I mean, you won't be in your cabin much anyway, but it's just nice to have that bit of light.
Yeah. I like to have an outside, you know. If you can go off the balcony junior suite, great, because they're not much more either. So, yeah, I think that's a great one. Actually, I'm looking. I could probably that. My holiday allowance starts in April. I can remember.
Oh, that will use.
You might see me on board.
Those 14 weeks a year you get.
I wish. Anyway, we've got a last-minute deal now with Celestyal Cruises, and here's Chris to tell you a little bit more.
As you arrive by ship into Athens port of Piraeus, you have multiple options to take you to the main city and its attractions. Firstly, check out the cruise lines and Planet Cruises shore excursions, which will give you door-to-door transportation and in some cases jump-the-line privileges. The second option is to take a taxi direct from the port gates. Beware though that these drivers can sometimes price a little extravagantly, so ask on board what the average price should be and agree with the driver before starting the journey. The last option is the Greek way, by using the metro from Piraeus town into here, Monastiraki station in the Plaka. The metro costs only a few euros each way and is a 20-minute walk from the port gates. The first and most important attraction to visit is the Acropolis, which, standing proud at 150 metres above sea level, is the site of palaces, temples and amphitheatres dating back beyond the Bronze Age. Currently, the ruins of the Parthenon and outdoor theatre are all that remain, but thanks to the entrance fees to the site, plus its museum and general donations, there's a successful restoration project taking place to rebuild and repair the area to its former glory. Home to the first modern Olympics, the Panathinaikos Stadium is our second recommendation, with a history dating back to 566 BC. Although the reason for its significance was the Olympic Games of 1896, which set the precedent for how we know the Olympics today. Our third recommendation is for Greek mythology fans. The Temple of Zeus took over 700 years to build as a place of worship for the father of the gods. Starting with 104 Corinthian columns and now with only 15 remaining, it doesn't take much imagination to see how immense this structure would have been at full size. Our final recommendation is to explore the streets of Plaka. Situated at the base of the Acropolis is the tourist centre of Athens and a great place to sit outside a restaurant with a plate of gyros, a short of ouzo and people watch to your heart's content. With a history spanning thousands of years and its world-famous iconic monuments, Athens makes for the perfect stopover destination before, during or after your cruise holiday.
Thank you, Chris. And yes, you do get, of course, 2 nights in a hotel stay in Athens for the start
we've
of
included,
this.
but again, we're putting this together for you, so if you want slightly longer, we can do that for you and fly out a couple of days before.
But actually, this is really nice because you actually get a chance to try Celestyal, but it's a 3-night cruise, isn't it?
Yeah, with about 6 ports of call, because there's multiple ports of call in there. They go,
so you can get to see a lot in 3 days, actually.
Which is great. And as I said, we do a lot of Celestyal now. We're selling loads of it, and I think... I'm not trying to say it's island hopping, it's not like that at all, but it's glamorous island hopping. You're on a great cruise line, good entertainment, all-inclusive drinks, excursions included on that and tips. So it's great value, and I think if you want to do a few of the islands and see them quickly, then you might go back in future and stay longer.
So the drinks, excursions included, fabulous.
And I think this one as well, you've got Santorini, which is always a seller.
Anyway, we'll take you on board. We'll give you a little taster of Celestyal. So generally speaking, they are smaller ships, aren't they, Glenn?
They are smaller ships. They're run by the Greeks on there anyway. So again, the food on there will be European, but they will focus on Greek cuisine. A lot of the cocktails have ouzo, which just be careful with the ouzo. We do love an ouzo. But what I'm saying is, if it's not one of the British cruise lines that's gone over to Greece. This is a Greek cruise line. But again, the clientele on there is mixed between European, lots of Brits going on there now because of the value for money. So as I said, the staterooms are good depending on whether they go inside, outside, or upgrade on there for you. But again, the entertainment is going to be European. And again, as I said, the food caters for all nationalities. But the thing is, this is so port intensive. You will get to stay on the ship, of course you will, but you're literally off most of the time.
Yeah.
And
you've got those excursions included.
Yeah, and again, it's all included on there. And I think if you're looking for a break, and again, maybe a birthday present or something like that, and you want to go for 5 or 6 days away, we'd look at this because 5 days away from family, for us is probably long enough. But it's wonderful, and I think if you want to see these islands, and as I said, big selling on here is Mykonos and Santorini plus Ephesus.
And we should say, I mean, obviously the 17th of July is the lead date. That's a last-minute deal.
That's a last-minute deal, yeah. If you're looking to get away and you've still got not anything planned, but again, we have got other dates also into August as well.
So you say 2 weeks away, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But it is good, and they have deck parties, everything's included on the ship.
I think this, if you're one of our viewers that's never done a cruise, or you're umming and ahhing, to get 2 nights stay in Athens and a 3-night cruise, it's a great little taster, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But as I said, everything's included.
Yeah.
And you will see some great places.
And that's saying, well, I tell you what, you said some great places. You've got some of my absolute favourites here. So we'll give you a little taster because we've had our 2 nights in Athens, but then we're cruising to Mykonos, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're going to go.
Beautiful.
We're going to go to Mykonos first of all in the Horseshoe, depending on where the ship docks. So there'll be your buses, but that's the bay area.
I mean,
there,
it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, and you've got the famous windmill, Shirley Valentine, of course. But again, you can either go further afield, but even if you just go into the centre of town there, go through the town area. Great restaurants, the one with the red and white tablecloth is one that I recommend. And then from there, you can go and see the windmills. Take maybe a tour a bit further afield, and it's become very popular now. The rich and famous. A lot of people are going out to Mykonos at the moment. We then have 2 ports of call. People say, well, how do you do 2 ports of call? Well, first of all, you go into Kusadasi in the morning, and this is where you'll go in and do the trip over to Ephesus. Now, Ephesus is the ancient ruins. If you don't want to do that, you can just wander off in Ephesus. It's a great place to go and do some bartering and haggling, great shops there. But Ephesus is the main thing, and it's the ruins there. It's a wonderful sight to go and see.
Oh, it looks
all
amazing.
I would say with that is make sure you've got good footwear and plenty of water with you, because it does get hot, and be prepared to do a lot of walking, but it is wonderful to go and see there. And then in the afternoon, we go to one of the smaller Greek islands, which again is a little bit more traditional, and that's Patmos. And again, Patmos, many of you may have not been there before, but it is becoming more popular, but it's a little bit more, almost like the Greeks, some of the Greek islands that you go to now 20, 25 years ago. It's a little bit more undeveloped. Your fishing village there, famous, and again with that one I'd spend the afternoon, go out for some lunch in the afternoon, go out for some dinner, whatever you want to do, and just take in the views. But it's a lovely, lovely, beautiful island. From there, we then go into Crete, and we go into Heraklion. Now, I used to dock here a lot, and again, where we dock into Heraklion, you can just wander off in the town area, which is directly in front of you. It takes 10, 15 minutes to walk into town. Or maybe do one of the tours and go out to Knossos and the Minoan temple. And again, if you love your history and you love your ancient ruins, you've got a chance to do that. And then finally from there, we go on to, I think, one of the best destinations in the world, and this is Santorini. And you'll go there in the afternoon. And from here, as you can see, that is the destination of Santorini. So the Blue Dome buildings in Oia, which is, you dock in Fira, or you tender over to Fira, and they go up on the donkeys or the cable car. From there, you've got Fira directly in front of you. And then to go over to Oia, you can take one of the buses or take one of the trips over. You'll see the caldera, beautiful views down onto the ship there. And if the weather's good, which it generally is in Santorini, I don't think there's any better destination in the Med, to be quite honest. And then from there, back into Athens, disembark, and we will fly you home.
I think it's lovely. 859 is the price. So just to remind you what's included, pretty much everything actually. So a 2-night hotel stay in Athens. Again, Glen and Planet Cruise can extend that should you wish. An all-inclusive cruise with tips. Free excursions, yet those in Kusadasi and Santorini, and return flights from London as well.
And I think they're going to be based on London flights, because I think we're going to struggle to get elsewhere, so it probably will be Gatwick flights on there, just to let people know.
All right, thank you very much, Glenn. We have sold out of quite a few of the suites, but we've got availability on the inside and the outside as well. Some of the suites are available on selected dates there as well. And that drinks package, well, pretty much everything you need there.
Yeah, that's what I said. Look, Greek flavoured ouzo cocktails.
Yes, and your favourite, the non-alcoholic cocktails as well.
Of course, yeah.
There's
We
your
love a nice orange juice.
Now we've just got one final cruise for you. This is amazing, and this is Oceania on board the Insignia. And Glenn, I mean, we are talking about premium luxury, really.
I'll tell you, premium luxury.
You were on board last week, weren't you?
Last week. Yeah, it was docked in Southampton. They were just finishing a 180-day world cruise.
Wow. But the Insignia she's a beautiful ship,
and it's been refurbished recently. It is stunning, and it's country club feel. They do say Oceania has, and it's obviously an opinion, but I think they've got the best food at sea. Yeah,
they are renowned for their food, aren't they?
Yeah, so they've got their own over in Mayen. They've got their lobster fishery, whatever you call it. So for the lobster, and over in Texas, they've got their steak ranches.
Oh, they have, haven't they?
Yeah. So the food is amazing. Tuscan grill, red ginger.
I love.
Everyone says it's their favourite
And by
restaurant.
the way, the Red Ginger is one of the speciality restaurants. They are included in the price.
And what I would say with something like Oceania is they are so fanatical about their food. So the meals during the day, but also in the evening, it's a big event. It's a big event on there for you. So
I think if food, you know, if that is predominantly what you want from a cruise, then they are going to be the very best.
Yeah, and as I said, they're smaller, intimate ships. They're fantastic. So when you're getting into the ports of call, you haven't got sort of 5,000 people trying to get off the ship.
And actually, they are as well known for their great destinations, because they do get in the specialist ports,
as well. But I mean, really, as I said, families do go on board. It's not a family ship, I don't think. It's a couple ship. It's a country club feel, smart casual every night. The food, as I said, is the best at sea.
And of course the service.
And we call it sort of modern luxury at sea.
Yeah. They are, so they, you know, we're not going to lie, they're not the cheapest.
No.
But the price tonight is actually incredible. Yeah. And you even get to choose, you can probably see it on the screen, you get to choose from either free drinks, onboard spend, or excursions as well.
Exactly, yeah.
But, yeah, it's very rare to get a price like this, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, for Oceania, yeah, definitely, 100%. So
anyway, we start with a flight.
So we're going to fly you over from the UK into Miami. Now, we've based this on a one-night stay. Again, I think if you're going down that part of the world, we normally...
I was going to 2 or 3 nights in Miami.
2 or 3 nights in Miami. We can do Fort Lauderdale as well, but...
I mean, I love that. I just people watching South Beach.
Yeah, go down South Beach. But I think if you can do it, extend a couple of nights, the guys can do that for you, but we base it just on the one night there. Then from there, you're going to embark in Cygnet, and you do step up a gear when you go on board. As I said, it is beautiful. You feel relaxed when you get on board. As I said, recently refurbished and stunning decor as you sit around. Now,
and you know, I remember so much space per passenger. Yeah. Well. You never any crowds or anything like that.
And I say we dined in the grand dining room there, and it was beautiful, and that was lunch on board. But as I said, every meal they have on there is an event. From there we have a day at sea, and then we go down into your ports of call. So we're going to start off in Mexico, down in Cozumel. Again, a number of things you can do here. The port is purpose-built for the ships coming in, but you've got golf, beach, swimming, snorkeling. You've got beachside bars there. You can go off and do some of the Mayen ruins, depending on which port of call you want to do
I did that. I mean, to be honest, me and my friends, we hired a Jeep because it was so easy to drive around.
To drive around. So it's really depending on what you want to do, but again, your swimming, snorkeling is a big part of Cozumel. We then go down into Roatan in Honduras, and again here you've got Little French Key. You've also got the Daniel Johnson Monkey and Sloth Hangout. So if you want to go and see the sloths, they're brilliant.
Oh, they are. Yeah, they really
they don't do a lot. They're not the most exciting.
They're not, but they're cute,
they are really, really wonderful. But again, if you don't want to do that, it's another port of call for swimming and snorkeling, beach style. But again, as I said, you've got the monkeys there as well, which are great. So really, really cool. Then we go down into Harvest Key now, all part of the same company under the same umbrella as Norwegian Cruise Line as well. And Harvest Key is the Norwegians' private island. So obviously you're going to allow Oceania to go in there. And again, on this private island, it's a fun paradise.
I mean, it's beautiful.
You've got zip lining, you've got the beach club, you've got the splash pads.
I mean, imagine being there for the day.
I know.
You know.
And the other thing as well is because you're going in a small ship, if you're the only ship in, you know, these normally cater for 4,000 people, and you've got 650 people on there. Yeah. You're going to have to run in a bit.
You are going to feel very special, aren't you?
The beach cabanas, you've got the lighthouse to go and take views of the island on there for you, and the beachfront cabanas, which are beautiful. So that's Harvest Key. Then down into Costa Maya, there, and from there, again, the actual port is almost done as a tropical village. So again, you can spend the day going off there. You can go to the Spanish fort. Again, more Mayen ruins if you want to do a bit more culture. And again, you've still got your hammocks and your lounges. You can do some kayaking. So you've got a bit of culture, a bit of beach, a bit of sun, a bit of snorkel. Just a nice way to end the cruise on there for you.
So, and your final day is Glenn said, at sea, then back to Miami. Now, again, we have genuinely got an amazing deal tonight. So you will choose free Wi-Fi plus choose either free drinks, $400 onboard spend, or 4 shore excursions. You get that hotel stay in Miami for the night. There's no cover charge for specialty dining, and you know, this is, you know, if you love your food, I would urge you to try the specialty dining because it is amazing. Return flight is based on London. If you wanted to fly premium economy, you can upgrade from $520 per person. And the shipping itinerary just differ slightly depending on departure
Normally
dates.
with an Oceania cruise, you'd normally stick a 2 in front of that instead
you
of
would,
one.
yeah, I know, I agree.
Normally
that's one of the best prices we've ever seen.
So I think if you want to, you know, again, we're saying it is whatever class you want to put it in, but it's above 5-star anyway, and the food is great. And I think if you want to step up your cruising and you want to experience that, and you want to go, and again, you might not have 2 weeks, you might want to do 10, 11 days and fit in a couple of extra days in Miami. Great dates.
And we've got, you're going to set a lovely selection of dates: September, October, November, December.
I mean, look at the upgrade to the ocean view. It's hardly anything at all.
I would definitely do the ocean.
Yeah.
If you can afford the balcony or the concierge, even better. But thank you to Lou from Oceania. That's got us that great deal tonight. But it's that time. This hour goes so fast, doesn't it? It's that time to recap all the amazing deals we've seen on Planet Cruise this Tuesday. We started with the hot pick, didn't we?
Oh, here we go.
And it was the Europe bound for £1.
Done, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was 7 nights.
Did you come up with that?
Yeah, that was 7 nights. That was our marketing team. Paid millions there. 7 nights Mediterranean from Barcelona on board the Jewel of the Seas. Goes on the 26th of April 2020. ID's 202276. And again, look at the leading price on that, $665 per person. And again, flights from London, Manchester, Scotland and Ireland. And deposits just £1.
Nice to have those regionals. And then we began the show fully with P&O on board the Ventura. It's that 12-night Madeira, Canaries, Portugal from Southampton. No tips required. Look at that price for 12 nights. Amazing. You can upgrade to select fare from £60 per person and choose from the following benefits: things like onboard spending money, car parking, coach transfers. Children's sail from just £99 on selected sailings. If you're ever cruising out of Southampton, we'd always recommend, if you live a long way away, to stay the night before in the Holiday Inn in Winchester. That's only £95 per person. You'll get breakfast, parking for the 12 nights and port transfers. And again, the itineraries differ depending on departure date there. And then we had Robert on board.
Then we had Robert here, and this is something a little bit different. Again, as I said, apology for any pronunciations that we didn't say right now.
We've had a lot of emails, Glenn.
But this is our 12-night Iceland, all the way up to Svalbard, Longyearbyen on there. And again, this is something a little bit different. We've done it with 2 nights stay in Reykjavik. I would probably upgrade to 3 days. You've got daily shore excursions, guided walks, Zodiac cruises, and some activities, educational lectures and guiding service from the expedition team. Planet Cruise exclusive on price. I gave you the prices for cruise only, is even more than that, and we've repackaged it with flights and stays, and you won't find this offer anywhere else in the market.
And the big news on that one, no single supplement. You know, life's short, so if you've always wanted to do that adventure, no single supplement. The only extra would be a little bit more for the hotel, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because it's no single supplement on the cruise only, and you pay a little bit more for the hotel.
Yeah, so, but give us a call. The single cabin sold really well last time. Then a chance, well, not a chance, you'll definitely see Jane McDonald, and you'll see 2 of the shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no chance about it. If you're a Jane McDonald fan, pre-register now. This goes on sale tomorrow. You're guaranteed entry and seating at 2 different Jane McDonald headline shows. I think the atmosphere will be amazing. I think it'll be such fun. It should be brilliant. Guaranteed entry to a special Jane McDonald an audience with. What question would you ask her, Glenn?
I'm not saying.
Have a think. On-board gratuities included, deposit for just £1, and again you can add on the Holiday in Winchester as well.
That will sell really, really well, and as I said, limited availability.
Do you know what I'd ask her?
What?
Have you ever watched the Planet Cruise TV show? That's what I'd ask her.
So moving on
Would you like to come on?
Moving on to our next one, we've got the hotspot. Great, isn't it? Right, OK, so if you're not sure about Borneo, you know the show that's going to be on. You've been seeing it advertised all week. Make sure you watch that programme on Borneo this week. And again, this one is taking you to see the orangutans and a Far East cruise with stays. 13th of October, 13 nights, Voyage of the Seas. Interiors 2499, but you can actually go for £100 extra, upgrade from an ocean view to a balcony, so you're going to do that for £100.
And then, my 2 favourite words this week's all-inclusive.
Hey.
Should have a picture of me there, shouldn't we? But yeah, wow! I had a most amazing time with Marella. This is their latest ship, the Explorer 2. She's adults only. Yeah, all inclusive. All tips, all drinks for 17 nights there. An amazing itinerary. Remember, this is Voyage from Barbados back to Southampton. We've got outbound flights, London Gatwick or Birmingham. That's my nearest airport. We also have a 20-night sailing from Barbados to Newcastle, available with Manchester on Newcastle flights there, 1749. If you love entertainment, if you love friendly British ships, that's the one to go for, Marella, isn't it?
Then we went on to Celestyal, which is a bit of a different one that we normally do. So this is just your 2 nights in Athens and 3 nights on the ship with about 5 or 6 ports of call. And again, your drinks, your tips included on that, all inclusive. And you've got free excursions from Canaries and Santorini.
And then, last but by no means least, the amazing Oceania Cruises on board the Insignia. Just been refurbished.
Yep.
For this level of luxury, to get this price and free Wi-Fi Free drinks of $400 on one spend, all 4 excursions you choose. And don't forget you get that hotel stay in Miami and no cover charge on specialty dining.
And then finally we had that amazing deal on Arcadia, which was the Northern Lights cruise, and the price I think on there was something like $875 per person, which was amazing. And that's the one going up to P&O Arcadia.
It was $875, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was about the 26th of November. But again, give the guys a call in the office. I'll be back in tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Yes. So if somebody answers and they sound like Glenn, it will be Glenn. I will see you next week with Planet Cruise. You're back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, mate.
But give us a call.
Hiya, thanks for watching the video. Now don't forget to like, comment and subscribe below. Remember to click that bell to get all notifications, and if you're looking for more fantastic travel video content, like this click on the videos to the right hand side. It'll be really informative. Or click on the Planet logo to the left to go to our website for some fantastic deals. Keep cruising.